And good evening to everybody. I hope everybody's settled in for the night. As we wait for this storm to come, there will be another update tonight at 11 o'clock and then another one in the morning. And I'll keep you up to date as it comes about with what the National Hurricane Center gives us, plus also through my radar system of what it's tracking and where it is. Now, I know that a lot of people, as we talked last night about being prepared, a lot of people have really jumped on that. There was a lot of folks out today. I know there was a ton of generators sold in the area that people that didn't have one. Stocking up on gas. Gas pumps were a lot busier, bread, milk, things of that nature. Is there, and I keep getting asked this, is there potential for bad weather for us? It definitely is here on the East Mississippi side. We are on the east side of the storm. As we've watched this thing, it has not moved. Normally, these storms will move 20, 40, 50 miles one way or the other. This one has stayed pretty steady on the predicted path within 5 to 10 miles of where it's coming in. Baton Rouge, hunker down, as well as New Orleans and these areas there. They've asked the folks in the New Orleans area to evacuate, and I do hope that they do. I spoke to a nurse earlier tonight who is not going to evacuate, that is going to ride it out, stay there to help others. She stayed there during Katrina, and prayers be with you as this comes ashore. This is going to be bad for that area. East Mississippi, we get winds, and we're going to get a lot of rain. There's going to be some flash flooding that is headed for East Mississippi and West Alabama here because this thing, as it hooks, and we're going to go to radar in a minute and take a look at all of this. The main thing, and again, let me stress this so much, if you live in a home and you do not have a storm shelter, and if you don't, once this passes, I do hope you'll talk to some of the folks about this, about getting you one, because it is really important to have one. The Precast Group can tell you about that here in the Meridian area. They're safe. It's a place to go to. But if you don't have one and you have a tree that overhangs any portion of your house where either you're going to be sitting or sleeping when this storm comes through, get away from there. It is really not worth losing your life over with a tree, because it doesn't take 100-mile-an-hour winds for this to happen. We get a lot of rain that's coming in. Then you get gusts of 30 to 40 miles an hour. Trees are going to snap and fall down, and it can take a life. I watch this day in, day out, nationwide, sitting here in this chair as these storms come across America, and good folks lose their lives. And we don't want that to happen to anybody watching. We definitely don't. And thank you for everybody that's joining tonight. I appreciate y'all. Let's start here with the information that I've got from the National Hurricane Center, and then we'll move to radar and kind of recap that. Let me pull this up, and let's pull up these screens, and we'll get started. And the National Weather Service put these first things that we're going to talk about out first. And this is the wind threat that we've got Sunday night through Tuesday. As we'll look at all of this, this is a one area here. This includes Meridian. This is a two area that starts just west of Hattiesburg down through Brookhaven and back to Natchez and Vicksburg and these areas here. All of us in this area are going to have winds of 30 to 40 miles, 30 to 45 miles an hour. That's going to put down trees, power poles, roads will be blocked. And it will be just certain areas there. As you get into here, the winds will be between 45 and 65. Now, if this were to shift just a little bit more west, it would be a lot better for us. If it shifts a little bit more east, it'll be a little worse for us, making the power outages, I don't want to say the word horrific, but long term. As y'all well know, as we had Julie on this morning, and we've talked about the past storms that have come through our area. They're rough, and there's nothing worse than sitting in the dark for days upon end, especially if you've got elderly. It is hot right now. Now, this also marks the anniversary of Katrina Sunday, 16 years since that all happened. Most folks remember me and Deb when we were on there, and we walked you through this. We'll be here again as well to take you through these storms as they come about. So long as I can, I've got power, I got a backup internet, so long as all that works, we'll keep right on trucking along. So we hope everything's going to be great on that. Now, we looked at wind. Let's see what the next thing the National Weather Service tells us. Flooding. This is going to be a serious thing. Now, by now, I would think most everybody has seen these pictures that happened in Tennessee. Was it last weekend? And you get into Loretta Lynn's foreman who lost his life. Did y'all see those pictures? To where he, just a few yards away, he walked over to check on the animals. The rains come out of the creek, and he was holding on, and it washed the building away. That can happen so quickly. And I urge you, please do not drive. Once this stuff comes in, it will be lots of water. We're talking about storm surges, 7, 10 feet, 15 foot high that's coming into the coast. This stuff will kill easily. Now, here's what the National Weather Service has for us as we look at flooding in the East Mississippi area. This is going to include all of us here, the Meridian area, Clark County. Look at this, Laurel. Y'all are in this. 5 to 10 inches of rain is possible Sunday night through Tuesday. That is a lot of rain. You imagine your creeks, these little roads that a quick thunderstorm comes up within 30 minutes has water running over it. This is going to be major different with a lot of water on that. So I urge you, as you're making your plans there, do not drive through this stuff. Stay home a little time there if you can. Now, what is the chances of severe weather here? The National Weather Service released this about 3:30 this afternoon. Is there a possibility of tornadoes in our area? Absolutely. It's not a major, but there are the possibility of this and damaging winds. And here's the map that the National Weather Service put out. As you'll see, this cuts off around Yazoo. Picks up from Vicksburg and goes east towards us, taking in all of this area here, Laurel, Hattiesburg, as we get in here through Jasper County, Newton County, all this area up to Winston County, right through Louisville, up to Stark, Vegas, under severe storms Sunday night through Monday. And again, keep in mind that does include the possibility of tornadoes. Doesn't mean it'll happen. I've seen it to where we've had these areas where they give us a 5 that is going to be really bad, nothing happens, and then we have just a marginal risk like this, and it's worse. So there's a lot that could happen. We're going to be watching it. I'll be here to, as soon as something pops up on radar, to jump in there and tell you about it, where it is. And again, have an emergency plan. Know where you're going to go. Let's talk about warnings that are being issued for this as we pull up this next screen here. This is all of the New Orleans area, Grand Isle, Baton Rouge, over to Lake Charles. If you live in these areas there, that is a hurricane warning that is going to happen. We have tropical storm warnings along the Mississippi Gulf Coast. There's going to be a lot of rain come down through here and storm surge. As you go up through here, and these are watches, these yellow ones here. So as we move forward here, this is storm surge. If you're thinking of writing this out and you're watching anywhere on the coast, on the Gulf Coast of Mississippi, Alabama, along back to Louisiana, take heed of this if you've got family members that live there. Back over near Lake Charles, we're looking at 2 to 4 feet. As you get a little bit in here at Morgan City, Louisiana, if y'all know where that is, 6 to 9 feet. Here at New Orleans, here, before you get into it, out on the coast, 10 to 15. New Orleans is expecting 4 to 7 feet. And if you've ever been around New Orleans, we all know that that is a very low-lying area there, 4 to 7 feet. Over to Gulfport, 4 to 7 feet. And then this pink area right here on the Mississippi coast here, 7 to 11, and over to Mobile, 2 to 4 feet high. It's going to be a lot of water coming in. So if you've got family members, if you're watching from there, please notice this. And if you can, get your stuff and get out. It's not worth your life. This is a very serious. Category 4 is what we're predicted. As we look at the rainfall from this is what we've got here. This is Jackson area there. Jackson back over to right here at Meridian. It's going to be heavy, heavy, heavy. And we'll look at all this. As I pull this up and I read my notes that I've made of this. Storm surges from Morgan City to Louisiana to the mouth of the Mississippi, 10 to 15 foot high. The mouth of the Mississippi over to Ocean Springs is going to be 7 to 11. Intercoastal City, Louisiana, that's to Morgan City over in that area, 6 to 9 feet. Ocean Springs, all of our friends that are watching there, to the Mississippi-Alabama line there, 4 to 7. Lake Pontchartrain, 4 to 7 feet. Also Pecan Island over to Intercoastal City, 3 to 5 feet. It goes on and on with that. Winds, let's talk about that in just a second here. As tropical storm conditions could arrive along portions of the northern Gulf Coast as soon as tomorrow night. And it will make hurricane preparations difficult if you're not ready. The National Hurricane Center has deemed this a potentially devastating wind damage that will occur in the core of Ida on shore on Sunday. And again, they use that word devastating. That's something to be concerned about as this comes ashore. It's going to be down trees, widespread power outages. Some structures may possibly be blown away with the hurricane on this. Expect this to come into the inland parts of Louisiana and Mississippi into Mississippi on Monday. Rainfall, southeast Louisiana should expect, and coastal Mississippi, anywhere from 8 to 16 inches of rain with isolated instances of 20 inches. The rest of southern and central Mississippi, and this is our area here that we're talking, central Mississippi right along in here, 4 to 8 inches of rain. Now, it has it just a little bit worse as you get to that Newton County line here. All of this has time to change, and it will most likely include the Meridian area as well. But 4 to 8 inches, you can take this down through Clark County, Smith County, and all of these areas there. This will likely trigger flash flooding all over the place. So we'll watch that and let you know as this happens also. As we go down the list of things that are going to be happening. Rain, wind, a lot of storm is coming our way. So we've got time, not a lot, but a little bit of time to prepare for this as it gets ready to come our area there. It's going to be a lot of rain and a lot of wind in our area. Now, I've shown this several times today, and I'll throw it up. It just goes through your 5 scales there, starting out at 1 to 74 to 95. This is what we're looking at now, this 4. It will be 130 miles to 156 miles an hour. If it crosses 156, we'll be at a Cat 5. We'll go to radar here in just a second and show you exactly what it's listed at. Now, here's the path of Ida that we've got at this point as she comes in right here. All right, we move ahead here as we look at the wind. Sunday at 8 a.m., we will start feeling those in the east central west Alabama area. You will feel that wind coming in from these. Now, this is the latest that we've got on the potential wind speeds of what we've got. If you look at this real close here as this map, this is going to, of course, be the center of this 90-plus miles an hour. As we get closer into central Mississippi, and this will be right at the Meridian area here, that 30 to 40 mile an hour winds is what we're going to have right there. That's right on the line as you get into Kemper, Knox, being north of those areas. That's going to drop down to 20 to 30 in that area there. So potentially, and again, all of this can change just a teeny bit by a twitch and a move of this storm. It's really too early to 100% say this, I know without a doubt, is going to happen, but it's going to be some wind, so we'll watch that. We've gone over that, and we've gone over the potential of what you need to pack and be ready for it. Now, let's go to radar and look at what we've got right now, what's live and going on tonight. Let's pull that up so you can see here, and off we go into this. Let me close those off so you can see here. This is where we are tonight. This is the last check of it here. Wind speed is at 80 miles an hour, northwest at 15 miles an hour as it makes its path toward here. Now, this is a Category 1 right now. As we look by tomorrow at 1 o'clock, it's a Category 3. Sunday morning by 1 a.m., this is going to be a Cat 4. As this comes ashore, and this is what we've got showing right now, it should slam ashore with winds or wind speed of 138 miles an hour with gusts of 167 miles an hour. Now, you imagine as you look at this, and let's zoom in on this, anywhere along here. This is Baton Rouge through these areas here as it comes ashore. As we start to see right along in here, let me turn this on where we start naming some of these areas here. That's an unknown area in Louisiana. Let's move up to where we get some land. Here we go, right here. Berwick, Louisiana. If you're in the path of this area and you live there, it's going to be very serious there. And as you look here, this is what we're saying about New Orleans. It's on the east side of the storm. All of this area here is going to get major flooding as it comes in and destruction as it comes ashore. Cat 4. Almost to the day, almost to the hour near about as we watch Katrina. As this comes apart, Monday at 1 o'clock, it will be just, the eye of this will be just south of Hattiesburg. Now, Hattiesburg is going to get storms before Monday at 1 o'clock, but that's about the timeline. You can expect it in passing through the Meridian later that afternoon, and then on up through Greenwood, and then we should have it down to a tropical depression at 35 miles an hour as it reaches, let's see here, up near Tupelo. and that's going to be happening. Let me look at the date on that. That's going to be on Tuesday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It will be past meridian and downgraded to a tropical depression by then. But we're still Monday afternoon. The eye of this, as it comes up through here, wind speed at 46 miles an hour. That's strong. So we're expecting all of this area here, you see this, is in this cone where we're going to get a lot of rain. Someone said they should have named it Biden. And Trump DeSantis could rope it when it passes through Florida. Cute. But the main thing that I've been trying to stress on this is be prepared. Go ahead, get a little extra gasoline, because when these power lines go down, it's harder to get to town. You can't get around trees that are in the road, so get you several cans of gas, have it stockpiled in the back there, 3 or 4 of those 5-gallon gas cans, so you're prepared and you can keep going. A generator, am I right, roughly will run most of the day on one tank, depending on if you got a 5 or an 8-gallon tank. Most of them will run that long. So have some extra there to where when the roads are where you can get out, go get more. I hope none of this happens to us. I hope this dies down, and it doesn't, but it certainly looks like we're going to get a lot of wind out of this, and that usually snaps trees and makes us sit around in the dark for a few hours. And again, as I said, I'll be here to walk you through this as it comes about. We'll watch it very closely as it comes in. Again, our timeline, as we look at this, it's going to be Sunday afternoon as this thing comes ashore. So if you're watching this, be ready. I just got a note there that says the United States has launched a drone strike against ISIS. Well, that's the first thing he's done, isn't it? That's what it looks like. Again, we all want to say a prayer to our servicemen who lost their lives. Well, that counts at 13. So keep them close to your heart. They've got family just like you and I, and they sure are missing it. I put up the pictures of the 3 that the pictures were distributed of the Marines that lost their lives, and one of the Navy guys. Can't say enough about that. And I know we're talking about hurricanes, but country means a lot to me, and I think it does to most everybody that watches. So prayers for them as we watch that, all our troops. And as I read into this, ISIS is already threatening that another attack is going to happen very soon. So more is happening. Thought you'd want to know that. As we look at this, let me make sure I'm not missing something out here. Let's see here. As we were talking about storm surges, somebody wanted to know about storm surges, and let me go back on that in case you missed that a minute ago. Let me pull that back up here, and take me just a second to go back on these storm surges of what is expected by our area. I had somebody tune in just a little bit late there. This is the storm surges that we had up just a little bit ago of what's going to be coming, and it's heavy right there. 4 to 7 foot Gulfport right in that area there. And I had some more notes on that over here as we looked at this. We've got Mississippi-Alabama border, which is right along in here. We're looking at 2 to 4 right there on that up to Mobile Bay, 2 to 4 feet there. Sabine Pass into Pecan Island, Louisiana, 2 to 4 feet. Lake Pontchartrain, 4 to 7. Ocean Springs, Mississippi, to the Alabama border is going to be 4 to 7. And that's a good rundown of what we got there of storm surges that are going to be coming. So take heed on that if you live on this coastal area. And, of course, as we get into these areas right here, New Orleans area, 10 to 15 as it comes in through this land straight up through there. That's a quick update of what we've got tonight. I will be back tomorrow, tonight, if it warrants it. But that's a quick rundown of what we've got so far of where we are with these storms as they get ready to come into this. Take heed on it. If I know that the bread and stuff's been flying off the shelves, it happens every time. But important to have a little bit to get you by. And again, if you have medicine in town and hadn't picked it up, make sure to grab that tomorrow morning before pharmacies or anything would lose power. Let me say some thank you to folks that help me out and make this happen every day. Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Joe. I think each and every one of y'all know Joe. Lauderdale County Farm Supply. If you hadn't visited with Ron before, drop in to see him. Eastgate Tire. Matthew and his friendly staff. You need tires, they'll take care of you. Chino and the fine folks there at San Marcos Mexican Restaurant. Talbot Enterprises, Kenny and the gang there. The Precast Group. As you need a storm shelter, Michael can help you out there. SMI Automotive, Joe and all of his gang there. They do a lot of hurricane work, and they help folks here with accessories for those trucks in Meridian. Sanders Gas, if you need a generator, they can get you a Generac to where you don't have to worry about being out of power anymore. See them. Chet's Paint and Body. Whether it's a fender bender here or there or a tree limb, get yours. See Chet, Center Hill. He'll help you out there. As we go through the list of other fine folks, Why Not Motorsports Park? You can't beat Rodney and his gang there that take care of the races and give us entertainment on the weekends. Big thank you to them. Freeman Tractor. If you hadn't visited Keith before to get you a lawnmower or tractor, do so. Good hometown folks. Master Flow Plumbing, they take care of you there from Hattiesburg to the Mississippi Gulf Coast, any need that you may have. Godwin Cleaning Services. They'll come out and make sure that your house is clean. Talk to them. Find them. They'll help you. Brookdale, if you've got someone that needs a little bit extra help, assisted living, they do that at Brookdale. Maple's one-stop shop. They've got 4 places around town for you to get gas. Also, a big thank you to Citizens National Bank. If you hadn't been in and opened up an account lately, or maybe you need to open your own business, Citizens National Bank, they're local. They'll help you. Along with EMEPA, Snowden and Company Real Estate, when it comes time to sell your home, they're there for you all the time there. They'll get you into a home no time flat if you're selling, as well as Kim's Photography, Graphics Guru. Some of the folks should help us do this each day, and I appreciate each and every one of them. Can't do it without y'all that watch, regardless, that are here with us. We thank you. I'll have updates throughout this storm as it happens to keep you up to date. Should there be tornadoes, we'll be on that. If it's flood, we'll do that. Heavy rain, no matter what the case is, we'll be here to let you know in relation to where you live, where the bad stuff is and how close it is to you. That's what's important. Again, thank you so much. Thanks for dropping by for a few minutes tonight as we just give you a recap of what we expect to come. Again, things will change before she comes ashore, but we'll make sure to let you know as it happens. Again, thanks a bunch, and I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning for sure, around 6:30. Well, wait a minute, tomorrow's Saturday. Let's make that around 7:30. We'll do that. I'll see you then. Y'all think a lot.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by